Guys. Hey, my loves. It is your girl, Daniella Coffey. We are live and on the air. Come on, y'all. I'm going to need you right quick to go ahead and share this video out. It's about to go down. Y'all, I'm trying to stay in composure, but I just got off the call with my spiritual coach and I am on 10. So I'm going to tell you tonight, you're going to want to go ahead and share. I know what I said. You're going to want to go ahead and share this video out tonight. This live is going to be power packed, spiritual packed, enlightening. It's going to really give you the boost that you need for the remainder of this week. Come on, girl, I am done with about to. I am so excited to be on this air with you, to be on this live with you, to be online with you. I'm missing y'all. I know we have to do this virtual thing, but can I just tell you, I am so ready to get back into the swing of things. And so I'm excited. I'm super, uber excited. I'm going to just pause right here. Like, if you don't know me, it's your girl, Daniella Coffey. I am your spiritual strategist, and I am the proud founder of Women of Faith Entrepreneurs Network, where we are teaching women globally how to build their business around their faith, not their faith around their business. And we are on a mission. Come on, I'm on a mission to help 100 women this year to be done with about to in every area of their life, their spiritual life, their emotional life, their physical life, their financial life. It is time to be done with about to. Come on, it's done. Be done with it's. I'm about to start that business. I'm about to, I'm about to start getting healthy. I'm about to start eating right. It's time to be done with about to. I got to share this with you guys, and I'm going to bring on this guest is going to blow your mind. I'm just like a little kid right now, waiting. She's backstage waiting to come up. I'm going to shut up in a minute, but I just got off the call. My coaching call. Yes, every coach need a coach. Let me just tell you that. If you are a coach, you need a coach. Guess what? And if you don't have a coach, you need to get you a coach, all right? You need to have somebody that needs to hold you accountable and in alignment. Accountability and in alignment. And so I just got off the call, an amazing call with my coach. My coach, spiritual coach, is Dee Edwards. And she said 3 words that just pierced my spirit. And I'm not talking about it in a bad way. And I want somebody to put these 3 words in the chat. She said, settled, finished, and closed. Those are 3 words that she spoke on. She said, settled, finished, and closed. Whoever that word, I shared that word because that thing right there resonated with my spirit. And it couldn't resonate with my spirit and I not share it with my audience. Settled, finished, and closed. What does that mean? Something you need in your life to be settled, finished, and closed. Come on. If it's a bill, if it's a piece of property, come on. I know I'm asking God to finish and settle some things. If it's a relationship you keep going back and forth with, if it's family ship, relationship, friendship, I don't care what ship it is, settle, finish, and close. What is that thing that's been holding you back? That thing that you have not finished, that you started, that you need to complete. Come on, I'm talking to Daniella Coffey too. Settle, finish, and close. My God, Jesus, I had to share that thing with you because when she said those words, that thing just really just pierced my whole heart. I couldn't even, in the back end, I was crazy, y'all. I'm talking about it was on fire, but I had to get on here with y'all. So I said, let me just share it. Settled, finished, and closed. My God, that was some good stuff right there. Thank you, Coach D. Thank you so much for those powerful words. I needed that. All right, y'all, go ahead. I need you to get in a place. I need you to grab a pen and a piece of paper because the woman that I'm about to bring, she always called me a planet shaker, honey. Listen here, look, let me tell you something. She is a planet shaker. She is an earth shaker. She is a Pluto shaker. She is a United States of America shaker. Let me tell you something. You don't want to miss the nuggets that she's going to bring. But when she shares her story, and how powerful it is, what she wants to share. This thing right here is going to do nothing but bless you. I need you to go and grab a pen and a piece of paper. Listen, today is about you. This moment, this 30 minutes, it's all about you, okay? Make it selfish. Tell the kids, the dogs, and the hubby, listen, babe, give me a minute. I need to make this thing about me, okay? So I'm going to introduce to some and present to others. Y'all know I'm a church girl. Listen here. It just came all the way out. Giving honor to God who's ahead of my, no, just joking. I ain't going there. Listen, I'll bust out an introduction in a minute. So I'm going to present to some and introduce to others. She is, we don't talk every day, but that is my girl, okay? Let me just tell you, I love her dearly. I appreciate her. And she's going to introduce herself. She's going to tell you more about her because, honey, look here. I'm a kid right now, okay? I'm just going to enjoy none other than Eye Candy Artistry, Candace. I hope I'm saying that right, babe, because I always jack it up. She going to tell me if I'm not. All right? Come on, bring my love on. Come on, love.
Hey, I made it back.
Girl, let me get this guy together.
Time.
Hi, love.
How are you?
I'm so good. Oh my God. You know I'm on 10 right now, right?
I'm so honored. I had to do this. I just came from rehab with my mother, so I told my mom, I said, Mom, I'm gonna see you in a couple of days. I said, I gotta come and be with my good girlfriend. I made a promise that I can't break the promise. You remember I told you I'm gonna be good in 2021.
Listen, oh my God, I'm so honored. I am so honored, and I thank you for taking time. Because when I tell you this is a busy woman, y'all, I mean, like she booked out. Okay, you may could get some in. Do you got anything in March? Probably not. No, probably booked into April, May, June, July. Okay, so I want to tell everybody a little bit about you, my love. For those that don't know.
You have my name right. It's definitely Candace.
Okay, good stuff.
My nickname is Canny. I am Candace, also aka known as Canny. I am the CEO of Eye Candy Artistry and Face by Candace. Eye Candy Artistry is my cosmetology industry where I specialize in hair, makeup, and nails. And then Face by Candace is where I specialize in permanent brows, which is microblading and micro shading. I entered into that part because I wanted to more so specialize in replacing the hair for alopecia clients as well as cancer. But other clients got in like, hey, we have a need for added permanent brows as well. December of 2021, so this year would mark 17 years that I've been a legal licensed cosmetologist in the state of Illinois.
Yes, 17 years.
I was like, where is time going that I'm saying 17 of anything, okay?
Oh my, we cannot, y'all, come on, can we get some hand emojis, the clap your hands emoji? We cannot bypass that, babe. 17 years.
Yeah, 17 years.
Wow.
17, yeah, and then I was also Illinois' first certified desirologist. So desirology is the restorative art or the study of cosmetology for the deceased. So of course I render services for that, including restorative art. So it's kind of sometimes up to me if a family wants to still have an open casket. Let's just say if they experienced trauma to the face, the nose in a car accident may be snatched off, gunshot wounds or stab wounds I'm able to actually restore the face so that then they can still possibly have an open casket. So that's my specialty when it comes to that. Let's see. So special effects artists for different movies as well as different TV shows. My work has been seen on pretty much a lot of things for Chicago. So I've done makeup for Empire. I've done makeup for Chicago Fire, Chicago PD, WGN, WCIU, Fox, ESPN, BET, TV One. The list goes on and on.
I told y'all thought I was joking. I told y'all this is like, she's a beast, honey, at what she does. Okay. I'm a planet shaker. I said, girl, bye. Listen, we're about to shake some planets on here tonight. Okay. I'm so excited, my love. And you know what? Like I said, guys, I need y'all to get your pen and piece of paper because I know she's about to drop some nuggets. She does not know any of the questions I'm about to ask. Let me tell y'all something.
Listen. Your hair and this lipstick, girl. You look so pretty.
Come on, listen.
You're giving me every sunshine vibes.
I had to come prepared because I knew I was on I had to put on a little something.
I did all this while my husband was driving us back from up north from the rehab. I said, I gotta be cute for Danielle. Go ahead on a.
And I'm saying the same thing. I'm like, I got to be cute for Candace because, honey, she ain't coming to play. I
Oh,
already
hey,
know.
Lachelle. It's saying Lachelle. Hey, Lachelle. I didn't know you could
Hey,
see the
love
comments.
bug.
That's so cool. This is
Yes,
a cool
my love.
show.
Listen, girl, I'm so excited. Shout out to, and for start with this show being started is Erica Watson in tribute in honor of her.
Oh, my sweetie. I
Um,
didn't know you knew her too.
Listen, girl, she is the one why this show got started. She was like, Daniella, let's go. She was holding me accountable. We spoke
Wow.
every Tuesday.
Oh,
To God be the glory. Yes,
wow.
yes, God. So this right here, this is in honor of her. I say she got us
Oh,
started, and I
that
thank
is
God for
so,
her.
yeah.
Yes,
Wow.
absolutely, absolutely. So let's talk. Let's
Yeah.
have some conversation.
Hey, girl.
So,
Hey.
are you ready?
I'm
Mm-hmm.
ready. I
Am
think
I
I
free to
am.
ask all my questions?
hmm
Okay, I want to make sure I'm free to ask my questions. Okay.
Oh, I'm transparent. So that's no problem.
Now, I know. That's why I'm like, y'all ready? Go get your pen and a piece of paper because it's about to go down. All right. So the name of the show is Girl, I'm Done with About To. So
Yeah.
I want you to tell me, I know with the artistry, because you're not just a makeup artist, you're an art creator. I
Yeah.
mean, like I've seen some of the work that you've done and the before and the after, it is amazing. But
Oh,
yet the one thing that I love about your artistry is you enhance what someone already has.
yeah.
So that leads me into my question. What has God taken in your life through trial and trib and made it an enhancement?
Wow. What has God taken in my life
Mhm.
and made an enhancement? Well, beauty for ashes. I'll say this. A lot of people, there's a lot of pressure being in the beauty industry because it has to do with beauty and vanity and sometimes your weight, your image, your outer image. And so a lot of people don't realize that I'm actually a suicide survivor. From my early
Oh,
teenage years, as well as my young adult, my early 20s, I was a very low self esteem, suicidal individual. I did not love myself. I never wanted to look in mirrors. I wasn't just pleased with my image, and it was because of how I was raised. I had a loved one who was very verbally abusive, and so I let those words manifest in my life. And so, a lot of my friends who know my story, or a lot of my families, are shocked that I'm even in this industry. That I've learned to love myself, even with the makeup. I tell everybody that makeup is an accessory; it's not necessary. And I
wow.
let my clients know every time they sit in my chair that same motto, because sometimes we will get so comfortable. We live in a generation where we're comfortable with the filters. I'm guilty of it. We're comfortable with the extensions and the makeup and things of that sort. And even though this is my
Yes,
money maker, I always want people to know. That's why I always say that the transformation starts in you. The name of my company is iCandy Transformation Gallery. So the
yes.
transformation has to be renewed with our mind. It's a mind thing.
Mine,
So
come
when I
on.
wipe off the makeup, when I take off the hair unit, when I take off those lashes, I still have to love myself.
Love me.
Um, so
Wow.
2015 was really when I embraced who I was, when I was diagnosed with a brain aneurysm, and I had to walk away from a six-figure job, and
Hmm.
I had to totally just rely on God. I was just like, God, what am I going to do? And so I've been a full-time entrepreneur since 2015. So I would say that's the biggest challenge that literally opened my eyes to not only love myself, to appreciate myself, to not operate with imposter syndrome, where we're doubting the gift that we have inside and who we
Yeah.
are. That was when I just felt like God gave me a nudge. The fact that I'm still living with that aneurysm and it's shrinking, needed no surgery. I'm just like, there is a purpose for my life. And I've noticed, I said, when something
My
happens in
God.
the physical, normally it's a spiritual attack. And the devil wanted to
Yeah.
take my mind. And
Come
so
on.
when I became decided and
Yeah.
realized who I was,
Yeah.
when I realized the call and destiny over my life, that's when I began to love myself, the ugly, the unsure, the undecided, the flaws that I had. That's when I
Yeah.
started to realize I'm here for a purpose. And the things that I was thinking of, the insecurities and things, it didn't matter when you have a life and death experience.
Wow.
When you literally have God waking you up, like, this literally could happen. Left side, I have a narrowed artery that I should have had a heart attack or a stroke. It's still narrowed. After 2015, it never changed. The aneurysm is so small now, so sometimes they miss it. So
My God.
once I
Jesus.
realized that I had to step out of corporate arena and
Yeah.
legit turn over my faith and turn over my life to God and just legit give him my all, that's when I started seeing the beauty for ashes. And that's when
Wow.
I realized that my artistry was bigger than just being in corporate, not shading corporate, because corporate is amazing and my check was amazing.
I know
But I
that's right.
but I totally had no choice but to depend on God, and it excelled from there. TV opportunities and award shows, and working with the Beyonce crew, and names that I never would have imagined. Even the opportunities I have now, I should be in a union. People are shocked when I get to work behind the scenes, and I'm like, I am working in an industry where God is still qualifying me, even if I'm considered underqualified.
Come, wait. Listen, who? I need you to go ahead. Who need that thing? Please put that in the chat. She said,
Yeah,
God qualified me even when those thought I was not qualified. Come on.
yeah,
We got to
yeah.
trust and believe God qualifies the unqualified,
Yes, he
right?
does.
He calls those that people say is not qualified for the position. Whew, I need that to sit for 1 minute. Because, honey, that right there was just for Daniella and Miss Coffee.
And if I
Okay?
could tell you, you know what? I'm a challenger of God. My husband sometimes laughs at me. He said, "You can't talk to God like that." And I said, "Yes, I can."
Yes, I
My
can.
my late father, Bishop William P. Anderson, said, "You are to talk to God, but talk to Him strategically," because he
Yes.
says we are the type of people that say, "God, whatever you're doing in the season, don't do it without me." That's the wrong prayer to pray, because what if God has
Oh,
a season of drought? Do you want that? What if God has a season of purge, as we are knowing that with this
my
COVID-19
God.
pandemic, we have so many great generals that are dying. So now my father taught me, before he exited out, he said, you have to be strategic with your prayer.
That's
No,
right.
it's not the whatever God you're doing in this season, don't do it
Yeah.
without me, because you might be in a season of winter and the next person is in their season of spring. So the
Yeah.
flowers are blooming and you're in a snowstorm. So
My
you have to be
God.
strategic and say,
Ooh,
God, the season
wait.
that you have prepared me for, the season that it's my time. See, let me tell you this was crazy. Timing is
Wow.
everything. It depends on your turn. See, everyone always says, it's my time, it's my time. If you're standing in a bank or if you're standing in a grocery line ready to check out, it's everyone's time to be in there, right? But
Yeah.
it's not your turn yet until that next person exits out, right? So with
Yeah.
that
You
being
cannot be running through these nuggets.
so you have to
Wait.
learn timing.
Jesus.
Timing is very, very
Timing.
yes, it's timing, but yet also your turn. So
Your turn. Yeah.
I say that to
Wow.
say, um, it has just been, it's been an amazing thing to trust God. And I pop attitudes, but when I said challenge God, 2015, um, I really had put a death sentence on my life, because we get panicky, and when they give you a diagnosis, they say, "Oh, we have Pastor Carlene Bowman Riley on. She's a pastor." That's actually, she's gonna kill me for saying this, but that's Vicky Winans' sister.
Hi, Pastor Carlene. How are
And I
you?
wish I
Thank
wish
you.
people could hear her sing, because everybody thinks Vicky can sing, and no shade, Vicky can sing, but
She,
this one,
oh,
prophetic.
but
She's
okay,
she
Carlene. I don't know how we can get you.
you
You may
you
need
got to
to
get her
send
on
her
the
the link.
show. She's,
Um,
oh my, that's my
Wait, hold on a
mentor.
second. Pastor Carlene, can you close us out a number? Will you be willing to if I send you the link? I don't know how we gonna figure this out. Yeah, we gonna get it done. Will you close us out in the song? Do you mind?
When I tell you that's
Yes or
my
no?
mentor, she has saved me from so many things, Lord God.
Wow.
But yeah, I gave myself a deficit, Googling brain aneurysm, and it said a ticking time bomb. And when it said a ticking
Wow.
time bomb, I legit would walk around like, oh my God, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die. So finally God said, I told God, I said, God, remind me of a promise that you made over my life, to remind me that I have
Mm,
destiny in my life. Because you gotta understand, 2015, when I lost my job, I lost legit almost everything. I lost, from my car to my home, I was almost like feeling like I was losing my mind, because the aneurysm, getting that diagnosis, like legit just like crippled me.
yeah.
So that happened in June, right? So
Mhm.
one thing I tell people, vision boards are amazing, but I like vision journals because they have more accountability. I can put my timeline, my deadlines. I can write out my prayers, my fears, my upset, my rants in a journal. And when it doesn't happen in the time frame that I want it to, I just keep transferring it until it happens. So that was June that I was diagnosed. July happened, August happened, September happened, October, November, December, the last month. I got a phone call from Lifetime, right? Now, what's crazy is when I was 16 years old, I told my husband at the time, who was my boyfriend, and my mom, I said, one day I'm going to work for Lifetime, movie network or Lifetime. And they were looking at me like, what? Because at the time I was working as a mortician assistant on the weekends in the funeral home. So how would that correlate? But I said, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I know that one day I'm going to work for this network.
Come on. So, come on, stop. Hold on right there. I need somebody to say, decree and declare a thing, and it shall be established. Don't look at what's around you. Don't look at the circumstances, but what is it that you're asking God for? What is it that you're decreeing and declaring and believing that it's going to happen? It doesn't matter what it looks like now. Come on. It doesn't matter that all the bills are due. It doesn't matter that your husband is asking for a divorce. It doesn't matter about the doctor's report. What are you believing God to do in his time? Oh my God. It may be his time, and it may not be, it may be your turn. It may not be your turn, but it's in God's timing. Oh my God. Ooh, okay.
So that December, I was walking the hallway, and it was so crazy because around that time frame, I said, God, I trusted you in June when I told you, remind me of a promise that you made over my life, because the scripture says his promises are yes and amen. And I said, yes and amen. I said, I feel like it's delayed. I said, it's December. It's almost going to be a new year. And no sooner did I say that out of my mouth. Hi, can I speak to Candace? This is Lifetime. And I said, this can't be. I hung up. So then they called me again, and I'm like, yep, this is a joke. So then they emailed me, and it was the actual letterhead and everything. And I said, oh, this is real. And they said it was time sensitive. And they said that the makeup artist that they had just did not work well. The makeup didn't show up too well. So when they sent it to LA wasn't too pleased. So they were going to send another makeup artist from out of town to do the job. Now, guess what? The family had been following me for 2 years. That this Lifetime show that was airing, it was a pastor and his family, and they had been following me for 2 years. They spoke my name up in the meeting. And now that week I asked God, I said, God, bring me up in an email, bring me up in a board meeting. Bring my name up, because I was losing hope that it was December. And I'm like, you still did not show me this promise. And so they said, well, we're going to give you a try and we'll see, but they said, we have to also make sure that you have the time to actually be on set, because they're going to be 10 and 12-hour days. I was unemployed. Remember,
I'm on
my job.
Yeah.
So not only did God do that at the end of the year, I ended up working for them for 2 years until the show came out. But the craziest thing was, it was the promise that I made over my life when I was 16 years old. And I told God, remind me of the destiny of my life, because I feel like I'm dying. I feel like I am broken, crashing. I'm losing everything.
Wait, Candace, wait, hold on, babe. Remind me of the destiny in my life, because I feel like I'm dying.
In a pit.
But you gotta stop. You can't go over these points. Please, somebody, please put this in the chat. Remind me of the destiny in my life, because I feel like I'm dying. Come on, can any of us relate to that? That was good.
Yeah,
that was good.
It's almost like God took me from a pit experience. It was a season where I felt forgotten. I felt overlooked. I just felt like I had so many promises that had just failed. And so that season of stripping, that season of isolating me, that it was like pretty much a purge. Every single time I have a doubt or a fear, I'm reminded of that moment. And when I called my mom, and she's like, what's wrong? Because she was so nervous, because that year had her on edge. Anytime I called, I'm crying. She's like, what's wrong? And I said, Mom, I'm going to work for Lifetime. And she's like, what? I said, do you remember, before I could finish, she said, when you were 16 years old. And then I called my husband. I said, pull the bus over. He said, I can't pull this CTA bus over. I said, I'm going to work for Lifetime. And he just was like, wow. What? And so that's when I knew the power of how awesome God was. Because legit, when I got that diagnosis, I lost my good paying job. I was wondering what was the next step. I challenged God and said, it's December. You have not done anything. I'm going into another year and you've not shown me that promise. And it's
Wow.
so crazy. He's like, right before I exited out that 2015, he's like, I'm going to take you from the pit to the palace. So yeah, you had that pit experience. Yeah, they stripped you from your coat. Yes, they talked about you. They roasted you. Now what is she going to do? Her brand's going to fail. And God allowed me to go into a palace and just have the greatest experience. And I'm going to be honest, it's been a great, great time from there. He allowed me to basically take time from making another country or another company rich and actually work on my own brand and bring it to a 6-figure brand. So that's why I said I'm just so thankful. I doubted myself. That was the thing, the imposter syndrome. Am I good enough to work by myself? Will I be able to bring in that income? Will I be effective and, be able to do what I can do? And it's been a blessing. It's been a blessing.
I'm sitting here, Candace, and I'm listening to you talk, and I'm hearing the voice of God say to us and someone on this call, don't underestimate where you are, because I am teaching you, I am giving you the experience to make you the expert.
Oh,
so don't underestimate where you are. I don't know, whatever job you're thinking that job is a low job, it's a low paying job. You had to take something that you didn't want to take, but God said that thing right there is going to make you I'm going to make you the expert in your experience, thus said the Lord. So I need you to embrace that. Don't get tricked by the enemy or the spirit of comparison or somebody that is in your ear, a family member or somebody that's very close to you, that's saying to you that you're not good enough, that position you don't need to take, you above that. No, God's saying, I am strategically placing you there. I am strategically placing you there because I am setting you up for your next. Oh my God. Thank you, Holy Spirit. I kept hearing that as you were speaking.
I love it.
Strategically, he has strategically placed you there. Come on. Even Joseph, he was strategically placed in the pit. Come on. He was placed in the pit strategically.
And did you see, Daniella, even though Joseph had to end up blessing the very people who offended him?
Come on.
He legit had to defend the people who offended him.
My God.
It's just that story is so inspiring and so encouraging to me.
Oh my God.
It's just so inspiring. And then and then the craziest thing is, I think people forget Judah is the one who got him out the pit, right? And the word Judah means praise. And that's why I always say we have to praise ourselves out of the pit.
Praise
you have
out.
to use the word Judah and translate it to, even though, it was his brother, the same person who deceived him, his name means praise. Send up praise. And so praise, literally, our worship, our discipline, it gets us out of that pit into
the promised land.
Into the promises is for our life. So it's just, it's easy to say this stuff because it's cuter to be cliche, but when you live this life,
my God, oh
when
my
you
God,
go to having a negative account to where you barely can, you're like, what?
Listen, listen. Don't look at my now. Come on. Even now, there is, in this season, and if I could be very transparent, I am going through I'm in a tough season. I'm in a challenging season, financially, emotionally, and spiritually. I'm in a challenging season. And when I was on my call with my coach today, and she said, God is challenging your faith. Will you show up if nobody buys a ticket?
My God.
Will you show up if nobody gets on the live? Will you show up if you don't make a sale? Will you still do what God has called you to do, even when everybody and everything walk away from you? Will you still do what God has called you to do? And I say, we always say, Lord, send me, I'll go. You better be careful what you're saying. You better, because sometimes you will end up by yourself. Come on. Some days you will end up by yourself. He's not isolating you, but he is separating you. Yeah. And sometimes separation feels like isolation.
It does.
My God. Come on. It feels like isolation. So, my God, Jesus, that word was for Daniella Coffey, okay? And I know it's for a lot of y'all on here. So, Candace, I have a question. A question. Remember I said today my coach gave me 3 words, and that thing has been resonated: settled, finished, and closed.
Oh, one more time.
Settled, finished, and closed.
Love that.
Now, tell me, out of those 3, What did you have to either settle, finish, or close to become the woman that you are today?
Oh, wow. Settle, finished, or closed.
Yes.
I always say that deletion sometimes means completion.
My God. Oh,
Because
wait, you can't do it. Wait. Deletion means completion. Go and put that in there. Okay, I'm sorry.
it says better is the end than the beginning. The reason why I say deletion
Yeah.
is completion because a lot of things that we have played into our minds, we have to play out. A lot of things that we have confessed into our hearts and our minds, we have to legit have rescued out or have, exiting out. And so the reason why I say deletion is completion is because a lot of things that have happened in my life, I've had to delete. Of course, the word of God says that we die daily. And what does that mean? We have to die daily to our flesh. And so I noticed that the
Yeah.
more I started speaking affirmations in my life, I'm talking with tears streaming down my face, not knowing how the ends were going to meet, not knowing what the outcome was going to be. I had to change my mind frame, and I had to cancel out fear. I had to cancel out premature death. I had to cancel out poverty, and I had to cancel out, I'm not going to, it's other people doing it better than me, or it's too many other makeup artists. So why? And legit, I had to realize I'm called and I'm chosen for a purpose of what it is that I'm supposed to do. And once you know that your calling is different, you'll know why you're challenged. We have, I don't know if I told you, remember I told you about frontline soldier. When you're a frontline soldier, you're the one that's hit first. And normally the frontline soldier is always going to be the leader or the teacher. And so they have given instruction for the fellow, or, like the people that are behind them. It also gives them enough time to get their ammunition together to finish the war, to finish the battle, to complete the battle. So I'm going to say what I've had to delete in my mind is the spirit of oppression, depression, suicide spirit, the spirit of just being undecided, the spirit of operating in my flesh and not having the confidence, knowing that I was more than a conqueror. See, it's funny being raised the pastor's kid of 37 years. Scriptures was punishments for us. We had to write them out like whatever. So if we did Psalms 91, we had to write it out 91 times. If we did Psalms 135, we had to write it out. So people say, oh, these girls are so Bible fed, they can quote the scripture. I didn't understand the scripture. It's one thing to quote it, but it's one thing to live it and experience it.
My God.
And so I used to make fun. I used to tell my dad, oh, you got us reading these fairy tales. There's no such thing as Jonah being trapped in a whale. I'm the rebel, the rebel PK teenager. You got us learning these scriptures about Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego being in fire. It ain't no such thing as somebody being in fire and not burn up. When I got older and realized that I was feeling like I was trapped in a well with nowhere to go, or when I felt like I was being burnt or, like severed in situations, I said, oh, I get it.
Get it.
I
My
get
God.
it. So,
my God.
Just like Joseph, no, I've never physically been in a pit, but yeah, I've been in a pitiful situation or a pity party situation, which is equivalent to the pit. So I think my cancellation or my deletion or my way of having to close doors is legit closing the spirit of demonic forces and that negativity, that ear, making sure that the positive voice within me outshadows that negative voice that could still be within me. So I hope that makes sense. I legit had to make a decision. Even now I have to make a decision. It's not easy not having my pastor, my best friend, my father, my dad. And so every day I have to make a decision. Do I lay in a bed and be depressed and sad? Do I sit here and eat whole big rolls of Oreos? I'm just going to keep it real. Do I just sit there? Or do I actually make a difference? Do I actually love on people and encourage other people through their rough season or their dry season? Or do we heal together? Because you remember I told you I'm one who likes to isolate. I don't like to I don't like to go through things that I just like, no, I just want to isolate it.
I just want to get to myself. Don't call me. Don't ask me. My coach is on here, D. Edwards, and baby, if she gonna kill me, but that's my spiritual coach. And when I tell you, if I could just share y'all the voicemail that I got, it had me crying and laughing at the same time, because we isolate. We tend to hide, and when we're going through things, and when we're in a season of, it may feel like a drought. I heard today Sarah Jakes was talking about wet wood. She said, bring
Oh
your
yeah, I
wet
saw
wood.
that.
Did you hear that? She
Yes.
talked about wet wood. And I was like, my gosh. She said, come on,
Yeah.
bring the wet wood. God is still setting wet wood on fire.
But you know what,
That
Daniela, this
thing,
is my thing for isolation.
listen, my God.
I had to challenge myself because I allowed the enemy to put me in a level of isolation where I could go into a dark place and
Yeah,
become depressed and
that's what he does.
feel sorry for
Yes.
myself for their narcissistic
Yeah.
behavior. And my new challenge from God was like, when I isolate you, I expect you to come out with transformation.
My
Meaning,
God.
when you're isolated
Ooh.
as a caterpillar, you come out transformed into a new person.
Another
When you
person
are planted as a seed and you feel like you've been buried, but you've actually been planted,
been
you
planted.
begin to sprout out, right? So
Come on.
God was
My
like, you
God.
can still be isolated for your season, but I expect you to come out of your isolation with a
Yeah.
transformation.
Come on.
Because
Come on.
the last time you come
Woo.
out, I came out with trials. Oh me, this is what I'm going through. Da da da. No one cares. I'm in this storm. No,
Yeah.
if you're gonna isolate, at least it has to be for a purpose to come
Yeah.
out transformed.
Come
What is
on.
your transformation?
Yeah. Come on.
And
That
so
was good.
it's a constant
Wow.
it's a constant decision to make sure that I'm better and not bitter, because I can definitely look at some things that has happened, just transpired in the past 2 months, where I could be a very bitter person.
Yeah.
I said, that's not the calling and ministry that I have.
It's not on my.
So
Come on.
I have to be effective, and I honestly have to show what strength looks like. And
Yeah.
one day it might be tears, and I've learned my tears doesn't show sign of weakness. It's a liquid prayer. I
It's a.
might not have words to
Come
form.
on.
My tears
Woo.
are a liquid prayer.
Wait. My tears is a liquid. I
Liquid
told y'all to
prayer.
get your. I told you. My tears is a liquid
When you
prayer.
don't know
You
what
better
to
say
say,
that
he's
thing.
the greatest translator to translate that. He
Come
can
on.
translate those tears. So
My God.
I just I make
Jeez.
sure that I show up. I make sure I'm transparent. I'm honest with my clients. I
Yeah.
let them know, this was a rough day. Or sometimes they come in, they can see my eyes was puffy and red, and they
Yeah.
might tell me that thing, and we
Hey.
pray that thing through, and we overcome together. So that's why I love the industry that I'm in, the ministry that I'm in.
Wow.
I love the fact that I'm able to just transform people, not just with physical. I love the physical, but even if I can just hit that inner. I have
Come
so many
on.
people who come so shy. I don't want to take a before picture. I'm so this, I'm so that. And I'm like, do you see these features you have, these beautiful teeth or this beautiful personality? And I just love the fact that even in my reviews, if you look at the reviews, they'll say, oh my God, I came feeling one way and left another. And it's not even just the physical, it's the inner.
It's
And that's
the
what I
inner.
love. Yeah, that's what I love.
Wow. You said something about if it's isolation, it needs to be transformation.
Yeah.
And then you talked about the caterpillar, and the caterpillar
Yeah.
goes to this cocoon stage.
Yeah.
And I studied the butterfly because I teach about it. I have a shedding, sitting, and shifting. It's 3 S's that I talk about.
I love that.
And in the caterpillars, what people don't know is when the caterpillar goes into its cocoon stage, right? So they did a study. They took the cocoon and they sliced the cocoon straight down the middle. But when they opened it up, because they were trying to figure out what in the heck goes on in this cocoon stage causes the transformation. When they opened this thing up, they found it was a bunch of mush, liquidy. It was a mess. When they opened it, it was a hot mess. They couldn't figure out what it was. It looked nothing like what it came out of.
You said it was a mess.
It was a it was a bunch of gook. It was a bunch
Come on, cycles and stages.
listen, y'all ain't ready. When they opened up the cocoon, it looked nothing like what people thought it would look like once
Lord.
it's shed. Listen to me. So some of us, you may be in a messy situation.
Come on
Some of
now.
us may be in a situation it does not look like. Your situation will not look the way that it looks now. God
Your
is
situation is not
transforming.
your destination.
It's not your destination. Come on, Candace.
Wow. You are just.
Listen. No,
If
that's
I
you.
could just have you every day.
No, that's you.
My alarm clock.
That's you. That's you, girl. Listen.
That is
That thing right
amazing.
there.
You know
My
what's
God.
also crazy? I remember a story that my father used to always give me, the analogy about a bird. Like when the bird hatches and when it hasn't yet flown yet, my father said that the mother bird will begin to make those twigs uncomfortable, she'll start picking them apart with her beak and moving the twigs around, so it shifts the bird around where it feels uncomfortable.
Power of movement.
And then it gets to the point where it's at the edge. And so once it's at the edge, it's like literally like, okay, what do I do? And then once there's no more twig, there's no more protection from the mother, it has to like start fluttering. And even when it gets out the nest, it sometimes might fall or flutter, and then all of a sudden it gains that. So that's, I said, that's another thing. I think we get so discouraged in our uncomfortable setting, not knowing that the uncomfortable setting is setting us up for a whole blessing. And as I said, and I always say, I noticed that when things are very uncomfortable in my life, or there's so many losses, I'm like, oh, this means the gain is right around the corner. This means you are making me uncomfortable on purpose, because there's something greater coming. That means I'm going through the valley because I have to pull somebody else through. Like, it's not always about us. And I kept telling myself, like, why am I going through this storm? I also remember I told you Psalms 23, how it says, walk through the valley. And we never know why we have to walk through the valley. I was like, why did God strategically say in Psalms 23, yea, though I walk through? Right? Because literally some people have set up tents. They have checked into Airbnbs. They have bought a house, put a lease into the valley. And it might be Daniella, myself, Keisha, who's on here, Jules, it might be one of us who has to help that person walk through. Like, girl, get up, pack that tent up,
come on,
check out the Airbnb, get on out. Because we've been thinking, I was doing so great. I was on a mountain peak. What am I doing in the valley? It's not sometimes for us. It's for us to be accountable and responsible for our neighbor, for our sister, for that person that's been missing for a while, that person who's gotten quiet for a while, that person who's isolating to get through their transformation. That might be the reason why we're there, for that purpose and that time. I have helped so many people during this time. Even with my father's condition, he had PSP, which was a progressive supranuclear palsy. It's a brain palsy. And because I shared the story, so many people have thanked me because they were able to go to the doctor, and now their fathers, or because it's really dominant in males. So now what they thought was Parkinson's, or what they've been trying to use, medicine that you normally use for dementia, when they were able to go through all the different stages of it, it ended up checking out that it was the same thing, that my father had. So now they have better therapy. Even some people are healing and getting better. And I said, before I even get jealous or evil-hearted or upset, like, well, God, why didn't you do the same thing? I was like, this is crazy. So you didn't get a chance to heal my father, but through his ministry, again, he's in the valley. It's for helping somebody else. And so that's why I said, even with that, I'm like, God still gets the glory. I'm like, I never knew that in my father's death, I'd have to so soon tell people about his condition or help another family. My two friends reached out. They said, well, this is the stage. And I'm able to tell them, yep, during this stage, this is what's going to happen. So do this for him, or make sure that he has a pillow to sit up his head, because the swallowing will get different. And they're like, girl, what would we do if we would, if we didn't know, because this is so rare. To when my father would get rushed to different hospitals, they didn't even know how to treat him because it's that rare. So I looked at that like, who knew I would have the strength to deal with that, but who knew so fast? And people were like, I know it's a sensitive time, but do you mind telling me the symptoms? And my one friend was like, she was just frozen. She was like, this is the same thing. And the doctors, when the doctors researched, they said, how did you know to find that? And she's like, because my friend, her father went through that and lost. So that's why I said, we think that we're going through things for ourselves, but it's
not about us. It's not about us. Your experience makes you the expert.
Yep. I love when you said that. Experience makes you the expert. That needs to be on the shirt.
Yeah. Listen. It will be. Thank you. Praise the Lord.
And in your book.
Listen. Yeah, I'm working on one. I'm working on another one. We done went over our time.
I'm sorry.
No, I ain't sorry. I'm not. Then you ain't either. No, everything that was said needed to be said. And I can't thank you enough, Candace.
Thank you.
For sharing and being very transparent. And I really believe you have blessed our hearts today. You have,
I hope so.
transformed and inspired so many of us. I can speak for me on today. Thank you for that.
Oh, thank you.
I have one last question for you. I know we were trying to get.
This is good for me. You better
Girl,
challenge
don't
me
tell
when
me
I
because you'll
tell
be
you. You
right
better
back on
challenge
here.
me. You know this
Wait,
is not me to be talking.
I know. That's why I said the Lord dropped you in my spirit. I said, let me call her right now because listen, were we able to get Pastor? Wait a minute, what Carlene? What is it, Carlene?
Yeah, her name is Pastor Carlene Riley.
Pastor Carlene Riley. Were we able to get her on? I think we sent her the link. I wanted her to close us out in song so we can close out. And I don't know if you're able to. Okay, guys, give me 1 second. I know she did get the link. I don't know if hopefully she's able to get on and close us out. But never.
If not, you have to probably have her on the show. But you guys have to correlate and connect when I tell you that this
She said I don't have the link. Okay, Miss Carlene, listen, don't go nowhere.
She's awesome and amazing.
We're putting the link in right now. Look in the chat. There you go, right there. The Daniella Coffey. There you are, my love. Click that link and we're going to add you to the show, okay? Mm-hmm. So she's going to close us out. Hopefully she'll get it. If you can just say, yes, got it, so we'll know that you have it. I'm thankful and I'm grateful for you. Aww. I am, showing up, and I'm saying this to whoever's listening to this. Show up. If you got to show up broken, show up. If you got to show up with tears, show up. There is power in your movement.
Yep, in your press.
It's power. It is power. My coach, I'm telling you today, the session today was so on fire. There is power in your movement. When you don't understand, when you don't see how it's going to show, how it's going to happen, when you only see the first step, and sometimes you don't even see the step.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Just make it. Come on. Just make the step. I promise you, he got you. He says, wow. I am perfecting everything that is concerning you. And when perfection is there, there leaves no place for blemishes. Wow. It leaves no place for doubt, insecurity. When he's perfecting everything that is concerning us.
Wow.
Show up.
Wow.
Just show up. And that's from my heart.
I love it. Show up.
Today was tough, but show up. Listen, show up. I have one question, my last question for you. What are you done with about to?
What am I done with about to? Yes. I'm done with excuses. I so sorry that I always tribute on my father's lessons. I think that with his passing, it has pushed forth his teaching even more. I feel like it just went into overdrive. But my father's motto was no excuses and all execution. I had every excuse today where I was going to be like, well, I'm still stuck at the rehab here. I'm still with my mom. She just had a seizure. And I said, nope, she's fine. All is well. She's not in ICU. I did my job. Mama got to go home. Okay. Tell the people I say hi and thank you for praying for me. So
hey, Mom.
Right. So the craziest thing is no excuses, all execution. There's going to be moments where you need to rest and reset. There's going to be moments where you have to relax. There's going to be moments where you legit have to be still and just let God be God. But at the end of the day, it has to be a mind thing that I am done with excuses. And I am all about execution. What can I execute? Because the moments in the time frame that I'm wasting on making all these excuses, I can be executing. I can be executing.
My God.
And so that's what I'm done with. I'm done with the excuses because I will have to be transparent. I was a person full of excuses. Well, I'm tired because I have the aneurysm, but then I'm not tired to do the things I want to do when it's time to go shopping and eat or do things, that's gossip that I'm not supposed to do, So done with the excuses and execution, all execution. And that's in this season what I've been doing. Do I have to use this excuse of laying dormant and being sad and being depressed and overeating and doing things? That's why I'm on this fast now. And being on this fast has been amazing and eye-opening and a life of discipline. Because the things that I would normally...
What fast you doing? If you don't mind me asking.
Yeah, I'm doing a pescatarian fast. So
Okay.
Pescatarian is the seafood, of course. A lot of people don't realize that the life of Jesus, he was a pescatarian. If you notice his food, he ate pescatarian lifestyle, also Mediterranean. So that means lots of fruits, lots of vegetables, not a lot of bread, every so often. So my regimen so far consists of no fried foods, no sweets, no sugar, no dairy, no potato chips, snacks, all that kind of stuff.
Jesus.
Yes, I've lost 7.5 pounds, and it showed me discipline about what I put in my
Wow.
mouth. But you know what's crazy? Not just physically, but then what I put in my mouth, just mentally, spiritually, like all that
Yes.
kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I'm hesitant now to what I do. I have to be disciplined. I have to wake up early to make sure I've packed my stuff. So it has taught me a lot of discipline. But my health has been better. The mucus, the pain, my mental has been better. I noticed that what I
Yep.
feed my mind,
Mental
when I'm
clarity.
eating these
Yes.
fried foods, there's no nutrients in that. When I'm
Yep.
eating my cookies, my Oreos, my cupcakes, those are things that are making me sluggish and even more
Yeah.
depressed and sending
Yeah.
enzymes that are not. And I said, I have to be the curse breaker. My mother recently had a stroke. Her mother passed of a stroke. Her brother passed of a stroke. So that's when God woke me up like, you have to be the curse breaker. So it's not like
Wow.
I just woke up like, oh, I want to go on a fast. Who just wants to just stop eating all the things that they wanted? Who wants
That
to
they
restrict
love.
themselves?
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
been a blessing, even just from me doing this. I was able to zip up my North Face coat and not feel like a stuffed Easter egg. Like I'm like,
Wow.
okay, so this is showing me that this discipline is
Wow.
like working in different areas. And like I said,
My God.
that's the execution I had to do, because I had every excuse. Well, my daddy died. Well, my mom has a stroke. I can sit here and eat this. Well, people are sending me all types of desserts and things, and I had to say, you know what? Nope. Put a
No
stop to this.
excuses.
No
All
excuse. There
execution.
you go.
That right there. That'll teach. No excuses.
And it's a mind of
All
discipline. Fasting
execution.
is discipline. It's definitely discipline. So, yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. Listen, Pastor Carlene, if you could check your messenger, the link is sent there if you don't mind. Hopefully we can get her on in the next couple of seconds. Listen, y'all, let me tell y'all something. We are here every Sunday at 8 o'clock p.m. I mean, y'all know I'm gonna have Candace back. I'm gonna chase her down. I'm gonna stalk her, go to her house, and I'm gonna have her back. So don't even worry about it. But Candace, the one thing I love that God is taking this, I'm done with about to on a movement. It is a
First of all, I love
movement.
just that alone. I'm done with about
Girl,
it. Every
listen.
time I hear it or see it on Facebook, it legit like convicts me. I'm gonna be honest. And that's the thing that we have to be okay with. We have to be okay with being challenged and convicted, because we like
Yes.
things that tickle our ear, and you legit need to have somebody that challenges you. So every time
Yes.
I see that, I legit get convicted in my spirit, like, ooh.
Good.
It makes me like,
Listen, I'm done. Come on, I'm done with about to. And God has really given us this movement, and this movement is a global movement. And this we'll be in Atlanta. Listen, if y'all have not any Atlanteans, come on, any ATLs out here, we will be in Atlanta on March the 11th, which is this
wow,
coming
come on,
Thursday.
global.
Yes, come on, we're doing this pop-ups, honey. You don't
That's
want to miss it.
awesome.
Being in a room with new people, networking, because they said your network is your net worth,
I just
right?
posted last week. Wow.
Listen, let me tell you. And so just getting into the room with different people, I got some amazing content for women of faith entrepreneurs. Women of faith, you ready to take your spiritual life to the next level? You're ready to take your business to the next level? It's a very small, intimate space because of COVID. You
Got
know,
it.
as bad as I want to pack the space
I
out,
know.
you're going to be at the house with me. That's how it is. And so many other amazing women. So, girl, I'm done with about to pop up. We will be in Atlanta on this coming Thursday, March 11th. So go ahead and get your ticket, $20.21. Be done with about to. I ain't never sold nothing for $20. Okay, let me just tell you. Amen. Thank you, Jesus. So $20.21, and
Done with about to. That is amazing.
I'm done with about to.
It is. It's funny because when we say, "Oh, I'm about to do this," every single time I've done that, someone else has done it. Like even with the microblading, microshading, a lot of things I've done in my life, I said I was about to do it, and then other people take off running doing it. I mean, like a plane on that runway just soaring, and I'm still left on the tarmac looking stupid, like I was about to do that.
Listen, The worst thing that you could ever do is run into the person that you know you should have been.
Oh,
that thing right there, when you know God gave you that dream and you or that vision and you see somebody else, that thing is in they're actually listen, let me tell you something.
wow.
You don't want to do that. That's why you got to be done with about to.
Because then you look now because you've wasted your time saying about to, now you look like the copycat instead of the trendsetter.
Yeah, come. You
Because
better
now
say it.
it's funny, I have people now saying, can he copy it out? And I'm like thinking to myself, no, I actually was about to do this in 2012.
I was about to, I'm just now doing it. That
now
is
it's 2021.
Come on. That was good. You
So that's
look
what I
like
said.
the
When I tell you,
copycat instead
every
of the
single
trender.
time I see it, I just legit get
Wow.
convicted and challenged in a good way, though. And I said, a lot of times we don't want to be convicted and we don't want to be challenged. We don't want to be corrected. And I'm like, what better way to be challenged? I mean, it's just what better way? I'm telling you, I'm so glad you came up with that, but it's so different and unique from different things, you know, that you see on the timeline of different empowerments. Done with about to. That's the biggest challenge ever, to just step out.
Thank you.
So that's why I said, I told you that on the phone. I said, every time I see that, I just be so convicted. Like,
listen, that's what we do.
No room for excuses.
No, it's no more excuses. There is no more. And every time I want to make an excuse, and the Lord is saying, now, wait a minute now. Don't be hypocritical. Get your life together.
Yeah.
You are done with about to. So your brand, God will make you the expert of your brand. You better be careful what you name it. That's all I'm gonna tell you. Be careful.
You know, it's crazy you say that because, you know, I'm eye canny. And so every time I say I can't, I'm like, but the name of my brand is I Canny.
It's I Canny.
And the subliminal message is Philippians 4:13, you know, it's I Canny artistry. So I can do all things. So it's so crazy that you just said that, because it's like when you name your brand something,
be careful.
It will challenge you like, oh, you can't, but the name of your artistry is I Canny, so I can.
Yes, you better be careful. You better be careful. Well, I'm excited. We were trying to get Pastor on here, but I don't know, for some odd reason, she's having a hard time with the link. Pastor Colleen, are you still on here, my love? We want you to close us out in song. We already like 30 minutes over. This should be an hour show. I keep saying it's going to be a 30-minute show. Okay.
I am so excited. I'm so honored. And thank you again for even pushing me. This was a blessing to keep me going. So that's why I said thank you so very much. Sundays are difficult for me because, again, for 37 years and counting, I'm a pastor's kid. Sundays were days of church. They were days for me to refuel. I was being refueled by my father. Then we enjoy food and laughter. We normally would be watching TV by now. So the exact time, 8:00, we're normally watching movies and doing different things. So you legit distracted me with a good distraction, because now when I get off of here, my energy is now so happy. So I'm like, okay, I'm ready for my week, and I'm not gonna sit here and cry, or you know what I'm saying? So you don't understand the ministry behind what you did, because like I said, Sundays are sometimes the most difficult day for me, because a lot of people don't realize Sundays are my favorite day of the week. Sundays are my absolute favorite day. But it began to sometimes be my worst day, because I'm like, you know, I lost my father. So thank you so much for having me. Like, this is like, and I can honestly say you're so honest, because you like, I'm going to hold you accountable.
Can I tell you, I call her like, what you doing?
You know, I laughed because I didn't respond fast enough. He was like, okay, I'm gonna send my assistant.
Yep. Get her, Joel, get her.
That's why, you know, I was about to say no, but I was like, yes. Who can say no when the second time?
Oh my God.
And I was
my God. Thank you.
Like, Sundays are my sad days. I don't want to be on here crying. I have not once thought about tears. I've smiled this whole time. And that's because of you. So honestly, you still don't know how powerful and how amazing, just in the slightest way, that you nudged me to do this. And like I said, it just was such encouragement for me today.
And so are you. I appreciate you so much. You have no idea of how encouraging and uplifting this has. This is definitely, this has shifted me in the right direction. Miss Colleen, Pastor Colleen says that next time you weren't able to get on, love. Okay.
You got to have her on next time. But when I tell you, Daniella,
Well, can go ahead and make the connect, and I would love to have her
You're
on.
gonna love her.
I believe that.
She's the reason, honestly. And I know we gotta go, so I'm so sorry if I keep
No,
talking.
that's okay.
But
That's okay,
one
my
time,
love.
she didn't know this story, but well, she knows now of it. But I was like legit, completely. I was having one of those suicidal moments. I was in my father and my mom's garage. It was a Sunday where I was supposed to go and do praise and worship. And she sent me a text message: "Go watch Lion King." And I'm just like, I'm sitting here trying to arrange my death here, be rebellious and not go to church. And I'm like, what? Go watch Lion King. So that disturbed me because I'm like, what? First, and then she was like, and your life has your life has purpose. All these
My
different things.
God.
Don't do this. Rethink who you are in Christ. You are an heir. So I'm looking around like, is there a camera? Like what? Like how does she know what I was getting ready to do? Right. So she called me. She
Wow.
says, hey niece, because she calls me niece. She said, did you watch Lion King? And I'm trying to tell her everything else. And I didn't watch Lion King. I was like, no, I didn't watch it. She's like, okay, well, I'll talk to you later. I was like, but Titi, I want to tell you about, she's like, you got to do that assignment first.
Yes.
So I watched
Wow.
Lion King, but I had every distraction. She said, well, did you watch it? And I was like, yeah, I watched it. She said, you didn't watch it. She said, watch it again. No distractions. And when I watched it, I gained so much stuff from this movie. First of all, and I'm gonna hurry up because I know we got to go.
Wow.
Simba, remember when he became rebellious after his father passed and he went
Okay,
to
so
the
don't kill me because I ain't watched Lion King yet.
no?
Don't tell nobody.
Okay, so guess what? Now it's your assignment to watch Lion King.
I knew you was gonna do that.
Let
I
me
knew
give
you
you a
was gonna do that.
I'm gonna give you a spoiler alert because those who are on here who probably watched it, Simba, after his father passed, became a whole different person. He started hanging out with Timon and Pumbaa, which I think they're like a wildebeest and like a big old, like, I don't know, he's like a pig or a hog. So he started even eating the wrong things. He was eating bugs. A lion doesn't eat bugs. He was starting to behave differently. He was starting to act differently. He had excuses as to why he could not fulfill his purpose and live in his purpose. He was grieving the death of his father, like all these different things that were happening, but more so, like I said, he was in unfamiliar territory. And so basically he had to be reminded of who he was. And the kingdom where his father used to rule, Mufasa, I'm sorry, had went down. It was just like, it used to be a beautiful place because it takes place in Africa. So it was beautiful, bountiful, fruitful. But because he wasn't an heir and because he wasn't taking his rightful place, the kingdom was just dying. It was under the wrong leadership of his uncle who stole, who stole his inheritance. And so his mom was suffering, his sibling, his cousins. And so nothing came into fruition or nothing was right until he returned back to where he was supposed to be. And it was so funny because his behavior was different. He even was saying, you probably heard them say Hakuna Matata, and that means no worries. So he was living a life with, no worries, no ownership, no responsibility, no accountability. As soon as he returned back to his rightful place, which was called Pride Rock, all of a sudden the flowers started blooming again. The animals were roaring. Unity happened because he was in fact the king. And so Simba reminded me of a pastor's kid because he was being rebellious. He left from where his livelihood was. He was eating bugs and worms. A lion doesn't eat that. He was legit trying to fit into something that wasn't his. And when he came back to be the king that he was, not only was he able, sorry, sir, we're talking. When he was able to get back to where he was able to, and so his father came into him into a dream that said, remember who you are. And when he got that nudge to remember who he was, he ran back to his kingdom, and then everything started to work. It was pretty much like the prodigal son returning back, or it's pretty much like when you step away and you don't do God's will, but then you go back to where you're supposed to be, your rightful place. And
Oh God, my God, my God.
And so when she told me to write it, and I
God.
was like crying so hard because it was almost like, okay, I was at that point where I was being rebellious. I didn't want to be a youth pastor anymore. All the different stuff was happening. And so I was like, wow. I can't believe that I got such a revelation just from Lion King. I'm like, and she kept saying, you didn't watch it. She's like, because you would understand the different nuggets. And I saw myself in Simba. I wanted to do everything against the will of God. I wanted to have every excuse as to why I wasn't good enough to be the heir, or why I wasn't good enough to rule, and so it's Daniela, you got to watch it. And when you watch it,
I'm going to watch it. I've seen little bits and pieces of it, but I never sat and watched that movie fully.
girl,
Just hearing you
when you watch
explain,
it, you're gonna watch you teach a lesson. Your lesson is gonna be probably even more powerful than I can subscribe because or describe, because I always think about how the land just lit up from darkness to like everything, just like it was broken bones. Like they had dead animal and carcass when he came back, and when he came back, it just was like everything was revived again. And see, the craziest thing was his mother and his family members thought that he was dead. That's the craziest thing. They thought he was dead, and he wasn't dead. He just left and escaped and went to a whole nother
in the wrong place,
eating the wrong
in the
things,
wrong position,
copying off of a muskrat. When he's a king, he didn't even know to use the authority of his roar, because he was so busy being a little.
I'm not playing with you. Goodbye. I'm finna go because I'm not playing. I'm not. Okay, so I'm putting that out here on social media. Now, don't go nowhere now. Okay, when is my date? This right here, accountability in front of everyone.
You know what?
I knew I was gonna get
here.
So go ahead and open it on up.
Let's look at it.
And you can send it to me in Messenger right now.
Okay.
Thank you very I want to see the little messages icon come up.
Okay, look, because I was gonna just announce it right here. I'm going to StyleSuit. StyleSuit is loading.
Okay.
But yeah, you gotta see Lion King. I'm so serious.
I am going to.
I say that to say I thank Carlene for that, my auntie Carlene, because I'm like, yes. Who knew that?
Don't forget to connect. I know, guys. Okay, the show is over with because we finna get off. We finna go. We finna go. The show is over with. Don't forget to connect us. Okay, so we got to get Pastor Carlene on here because, honey, we need that wisdom.
March 15th, I'm good.
Okay, March 15th. March 15th. On my back end, but George.
So yeah, just let me know.
This is on it. March 15th. I got it. Okay, sounds good. Listen, y'all, we getting up off of here. I know we supposed to be on here for 30 minutes, but that's okay. We ain't sorry. We ain't sorry. We really not. If you are just catching the just getting on, catch the replay. I'm telling you, you do not want to miss, and get your pen and piece of paper because this was some good stuff. Listen, until next time, if you have not, we will be in Atlanta, Georgia, March 11th, yes. Memphis, Tennessee, March 18th. April the 1st, we will be in Dallas, Texas. And then April 15th, we will be in Raleigh, North Carolina. I need you to go ahead and get your ticket. Go ahead one more time. We're going to put the link there. Don't meet us there. Beat us there. It's about to go down. Y'all don't want to miss the girl I'm done with about to pop up. If you're tired of procrastinating, overthinking, and diminishing your light to make other people feel comfortable around you, baby girl, it's time to get in this space.
Can I pay for 2 people? Can I do that?
Sure.
Yeah. So send me a link for 2 people, either Cash App me or Zelle me, and let me pay for 2 people so I can bless you guys with that.
Oh, thank you, my love. Okay, so y'all got 2 free tickets. Girl, look here.
So find 2 people that can benefit from it, and I would love to. So don't forget, have Juliana text me or Zelle me, Cash App me, whichever one.
Okay. All right. We'll do, babe. Thank you so much. I love you guys so very much. We love you. We'll see you guys on next Sunday, same time, same space. Have an amazing night. Mwah.
Mwah.
Bye-bye.